definitely a lot of things that we can look at doing a lot better. But to get 19 fast break points, to rebounded them by 17, and 29 assists, only 11 turnovers, are all really good numbers. So I'd much rather clean up things after a win in the Western Conference Finals than a loss. So we'll take it, but much work to do.
Michael, on Nikola's night, what did you think of just kind of the aggressiveness he had to open that first quarter and how he set the tone? And then what was your take on that third quarter buzzer beater he had from three?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We hit a couple of shots tonight. I think Jamal had one at the end of the shot clock. I'm not sure if Michael Porter's corner three went off the glass or not, but we had some shots that were we needed, obviously, in a game like tonight. But Nikola was great. 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists, 2 blocks. And as you mentioned, Harrison, his aggression, him driving the ball, dunking the ball in traffic. And we always talk about an aggressive Nikola Jokic is a very effective Nikola Jokic. So, a hell of a job by him. Have to give Jamal a lot of credit, for playing through a game where he was questionable. 31, 5-5, 3 steals, another block shot, and battling through the illness. I give him a lot of credit.
You mentioned that the Lakers went big with Rui out there on Jokic. Just how did the game kind of shift when they started doing that?
Well, we were having a hard time scoring. We were turning the ball over. And, we had 19 fast break points tonight, but 17 were in the first half. That's because we were getting stops and turning them over and running out. In the second half, we didn't get stops, so it became a half-court game, which is to their favor. They have the number 1 defense in the playoffs. So for us, we have to continue to find ways to get pace into the game and not play against that set defense. They have tremendous size, length, and athleticism out there. But we did enough things. I thought, by the way, one of the biggest plays at night, Michael Porter getting on the floor for that loose ball. That 50-50 ball he came up with led to the only 2 transition points we scored in the second half on the Aaron Gordon dunk, and the Ball Arena went nuts at that point. So, Michael shot the ball well, rebounded the ball well, but that 50-50 ball was a game-winning type of a play.
Michael, you kind of touched on it there, but MPJ also had a couple of blocks on the rear contests. I'm just curious what you've seen from him defensively this postseason compared to what you got in the 2 or 3 previous postseasons with him.
Well, I think, he's doing what he's done all season, Benny. I think you guys have heard me talk about it. I think this season has by far been Michael's best defensive season of his very young career. And, why is that? I think he's using his 6'10" frame, 7-foot wingspan, and most importantly, he cares. He wants to. He wants to win a championship. He came up to me during the Phoenix series and says, listen, man, if you want to get Bruce in at the end of a game, whatever you think is going to help us win the game, I just want to win. And so it's just another example of a guy being selfless and realizing that this is much bigger than any individual. This is about the collective. But yeah, you're right. Coming from behind, blocking Austin Reeves' shot, making plays at the rim, getting on the glass, 10 boards. 15 and 10 for him, making 3 threes on a very efficient night is a hell of a night for Michael.
Coach, similar to last series, where they obviously have 2, all-time kind of players, really good scorers, you kind of have to pick your poison, but how do you make it a little harder on some of the shots that Reeves was able to get, or Rui at times, and limit their role players, I guess?
Yeah, it's, when Jamal Murray's got 5 fouls, we're not going to switch to pick and roll, let him guard LeBron one-on-one. Jamal is really important to us closing games. And, Austin Reeves made 2 threes late. I felt we did a great job on D'Angelo Russell, so great that he wasn't even in the game much in the second half. But when you give so much attention to a LeBron and to an Anthony Davis, who both had big nights, 40 and 26, other guys are going to step up and make plays. And to your point, Austin Reeves, 23, and Rui off the bench, 17. That's where we'll go back and watch the film and figure out what we can do better and give them different looks to make it a lot harder for them.
You just kind of mentioned the switching on pick and rolls, obviously Jamal in foul trouble. What's that healthy balance for you of switching or fighting through the screen to keep your defensive matchup?
Yeah, it's, we've been a switch team for most of the season with our, small ball lineups. Guys not named Nikola, we switch quite a bit. And, we challenge our smalls to fight guys like Karl Anthony Towns, to fight guys like Kevin Durant. And, obviously tonight LeBron and Rui, they have their way with us down there. And then you, our tough two is going to beat you. And if you start double teaming, do you open up the 3-point line? So we'll once again watch the film and see how we can do a better job, especially in that second half, of just making it harder. I really liked how we played in the first half. Got off to a tremendous start, 21-point lead, but they just continued to chip away and they made a game of it. And fortunately, we were able to pull it out.
When the Lakers were making that run in the fourth, what did you sense from the guys when you called a couple of timeouts, and how they responded to that running, and they ultimately, won the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was imperative for everybody. Just went into one of the timeouts, and everybody just, a lot of time left. They've made their run. We have 2 timeouts left. Let's go down and get a score out of the timeout and get a stop, and take control of the game once again. And a lot of our guys are battle tested. We've been in a ton of close games, and I didn't think there was any panic. I think there was poise, and our guys looked at one another and realized what we had to do to close this game out. And their second to last timeout, our guys did a great job of adhering to the game plan. We forced a turnover. So we know winning game 2 is going to be even that much harder, but we'll be better, I think, come game 2 as well.
Coach, KCP's always been bringing it on defense, but he's had a couple games now with, big scoring outputs. What are you seeing from him, his ability is it matching what the game demands in terms of veteran leadership? Is it matching what the game demands in terms of coverages? What are you seeing in these last couple outings from him?
What I'm seeing is a 10-year vet who's won a world championship and who is built for moments like these, whether it's in the Phoenix series